Welcome to Echoes from the Word, where we resonate insight from Scripture's depths. We go beyond the surface, mining the Word for the truths that still speak, still stir, and still shape us. If you're ready to hear what heaven is still saying, then you're in the right place. Let's journey into the Word and let its echoes transform your world. Echoes from the Word is brought to you by Biblical Mind. Now here is today's echo.
1 Samuel 12:2-4 gives us a profound portrait of what it means to be a faithful servant of God. When Samuel stood before the nation of Israel in his twilight years, he didn't recount his achievements or parade his accolades. He didn't remind them of his accurate prophecies, miraculous interventions, or the victories secured under his leadership. Instead, he did something far more courageous. He invited scrutiny, not of his prophecy, but of his personal life and conduct. He stood before the people and laid his record bare, asking a question few have the courage to raise. He said, "Here I stand, testify against me. Whose ox have I taken? Whose donkey have I stolen? Whom have I cheated? Whom have I oppressed? From whose hand have I taken a bribe? If I have done any of these things, I will make it right." And the people, all of them, answered with one voice, "You have not wronged us. You've taken nothing from anyone's hand." What courage! What moral clarity! What a legacy! In a world obsessed with hollow appearances, in a digital age where image often substitutes for substance, Samuel's story reminds us of a sobering truth. The way you live speaks louder than anything you preach or post. It is not enough to look holy. You must live upright, especially when it is difficult to do so. This moment in Samuel's life was not about perfection. It was about consistency. A life lived faithfully in the open without pretense or hidden stains. A life that could withstand the scrutiny of time and temptation and still emerge clean. There comes a point in every person's journey, especially for those who have stood in places of influence, when your legacy no longer rests on accomplishment but on testimony. Not the testimony you give about yourself, but the testimony others offers when your life is put under review. Not what you did, but how you lived while doing it. Notice that Samuel's invitation to scrutiny wasn't vague or generic. It was clear and specific. He rooted it in a clear reference point. He said, "From my youth until this day." In essence, he was saying, "Judge me not from my childhood, but from the moment I took up this sacred responsibility until now." That's an important principle. Integrity is measured in the season where you are entrusted with responsibility, not in some former era of immaturity and ignorance. It is not who you were before the calling, before the commitment, or the covenant. It is who you have been since you accepted it. So the real question is, can your past, the season in which you were entrusted with responsibility, walk side by side with your present without contradiction? When you came to faith in Christ, when you were ordained, when you stood at the altar in marriage, when you were handed the sacred trust, has your life since that moment affirmed the confidence placed in you, or has it called it into question? If your years of service were put on trial, would your life speak for you or against you? What would remain standing when the full weight of your life is reviewed? And if the people closest to you were called to testify about your conduct, about your character, about your way of life, what would they say? The truth is, you cannot simply declare yourself to be a person of integrity. You must, like Samuel, live in such a way that you can stand before others and say, "Examine me." It may not always unfold as smoothly as it did for Samuel, where the people unanimously affirmed his character. There are times when, despite a life of integrity, others may rise to falsely accuse you, motivated by jealousy, politics, or offense. But don't be discouraged. That too is part of the price of integrity. May the Lord grant us grace. Grace to live a life of truth. grace to walk in the light, grace to serve with clean hands and clear conscience. May we live in such a way that our lives require no defense, endure honest scrutiny, and bring honor to God in both word and witness. May we, like Samuel, be able to stand at the end of our journey and say, "Here I stand." And may those who knew us respond, "You have wronged no one." God bless you.